If you have been following my channel, you probably know, just get the light a bit better, that I am going to be running the Coriolis, the Great Dark Kickstarter, Quickstarter soon, on my channel. Really looking forward to it. Probably next week on, when is it? Thursday, I think I said. No, Friday. Next week, Friday. Saturday. Next week, Saturday. My German game will be this Saturday, so I get it slightly confused here, but yeah, it should be next Saturday for English. And basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to use Alchemy. Now, Alchemy is something that has not got a rule system for this new Coriolis. It has one, sort of, for the current Coriolis, which I want to actually make a video about as well. But I just invested, I don't know, far too many hours in setting this up, and I just thought I should at least show it off a little bit. So bear with me if you're interested in Great Dark, or in Alchemy, or how it could look together. I'll just show off a little bit, and then depending whether people want to chat about it, want to find out more, I'm very happy to take questions on it, or maybe show up some of the deeper setup that I've been experimenting with. It's not optimal, and I'm not an expert yet on Alchemy at all. But yeah, so you can see, basically I created a few scenes. The Great Dark, this is my welcome scene. This is from the cover. The nice thing about Alchemy, it does really lend itself to this sort of artwork integration. You have the Zen mode as well, so I can get rid of almost all the user interface problems, well, tokens, bits. So if you want to stream from this, for example, I can have a browser window open like with this view and integrate that as background into my overlay, and then you've got an animated background and the cameras before it. Pretty cool. Alchemy are also working on a streaming mode, which optimizes this a little bit more, where you can select which overlay elements you want. And of course, Action also has video integrated, but I haven't actually used that yet. So what I've done basically is I've created the characters, very basic, using the custom system that you can use. And this is one of them, Jeremy Enroux. And he's the Delver. He's the guy who goes first. You can tell by the mustache he's a big explorer. Always slightly dubious when the hair color and the mustache color don't match. But hey, man, style choice. So I've got the attributes here. You've got 6 attributes in Coriolis, the Great Dark, and they're integrated. I then have got the skills here, and they're just entered. I have not done anything special with these. Just enter them, so you can't actually click these. Yeah, but at least they're there. We have the trackers. Hey Mohammed, there might be some slight spoilers in this, because I might show you some scenes, but if I know that you're here, I'm not going to show the latter scenes, so it's not going to be a huge spoiler. I've got, he's a worker, he's a wreck diver, his crew role, Delver, I should say. I haven't put that on. Put his quirks on here, and the actions. Basically what I've been trying out is the dice pool system that Alchemy have now implemented. One of the issues I found so far is, of course, you have attributes, and you can roll against the attributes. That's not a problem. But sometimes you have a skill that you can use with different attributes. So actually what you would need to be able to do is you would need to be able to create dice pools on the fly. And especially if you put equipment on top. And I haven't worked that out yet. So, but if I wanted to play this character now, yeah, I go into here, say play as this character, get my little hope overview here. I've got hope, and I've got the hit points, the health. Probably should just call it health rather than HP. Hope and health, and heart. That's the last one. And you can see in the bottom left here, I've got the dice pools that I've set up. So I can, for example, say, oh, I just want to roll on strength. Then click on the lightning here to say use, and then you get the strength roll. And the 6 here is the success. So that works. Yeah. The next thing you can do is you can roll normal d6. So I can go down here, and I can say, okay, there's a d6. Manual roll, and I just say, for example, roll 3d6. 1, 2, 3 clicks on the arrow. You get 3d6, and you can see there's the 6. It doesn't highlight them because it's just a d6. It's not a dice pool d6, and so it doesn't tell you what the successes are, but at least you can see the 6s. Sort of works. I then have created one, so when this character, he's the Delver, if he goes first and he delves into the ruins, then you basically get +2 on his skill. So what I've been creating here is the different dice pool just for that skill. And if I click on that, you can now see that quite a few dice. And he got a 6, and he's got all the others that are not 6s. And the not 6s, of course, are a bit like, oh, welcome to year 0. But I can click on reroll, so I can push. So I configured it that 1s and 6s can't be pushed, but everything else it can. So I now reroll it. The 6 is still there. I now get a 1, which means I get 1 damage to my hope. Then I have to go down here, -1. Make sure you click on the tick, and then the hope is diminished. So that's how the mechanic of operating a character works. Now, fighting, for example, things like that, nothing of that is automated. But what I have fiddled about with this character a little bit. So if you wanted to see how that is done, you basically have the different dice pools you can set up here. For example, the Delve one is probably the most interesting one. So I created here agility plus rune delver skill times d6, and then you say a 6 is a success, a 1 is a failure, and a 2, 3, 4, 5 can be re-rolled. It can get, if you have to do this for every combination of skills and a kit, firstly, it would be very, very fiddly, and secondly, that list on the left would be really long. So I'm not going to do that, but I've been fiddling about with it. So what else have I been doing? I have created some of the story, no, not story, I put a note in here, basically, which tells you about the planet we're going on. So it's a bit of reference information. I don't think that works very well, that note panel, personally. But while you're playing, people can put notes into it. Player can put notes in it and remember it because it saves those. So that could be useful. I put the first scene here. This is not a spoiler, don't worry, Mohammed, because Mohammed is going to play. So let me just get rid of the character sheet here. So this is one of the scenes. You get the overlay, you've got the nice motion effects that are sort of baked in, and because I'm Kickstarter backer here, I've got lots of them, a whole huge collection of them I can use. And here, I also put some scene notes in, so I get a story. And again, this is a shortcoming for me. If you look right now, it's actually quite hard to read. So what I would recommend, if you have this, if you use it, that you just, on a second panel, second screen, you keep this open. So for example, I've got the intro here in English and the intro in German. So I don't have to translate that on the fly, and at least you can get to it, yeah, and look at it in a browser window, and you can then have structured text there, jumping back and forth. I don't think the integration of, sorry, that's wrong game, the integration of the notes in this small panel at the bottom is sensible. I don't think that works well. Just a few scenes here. I've got the office scene I created. Most of the artwork is actually all but the first page I showed you is Midjourney stuff. So I actually busted my my limit. There's a canteen picture here on the base. Looks like this. I quite like that picture. I think it's quite evocative. We've got an observatory chamber. This is all on the first base, so don't worry about it. As I said, spoiler-wise. Yeah. This is supposed to be gas giant. It's not, but hey, I like the picture. And we've got a medical board just in case somebody gets injured. You never know. Could happen. Yeah. So I quite like these. And then we go into the delve, which is just a generic picture when you go ruin diving. Yeah. So that's, again, Midjourney. You can have handouts on here. These handouts basically, there's about 5 originally that we need for this game, for this particular scenario, so it fits on. I can add many more. And if I wanted to show it, I can view it myself. So you get the graphic up here, bit hard to read there, but then basically I put the full text at the bottom. This is the mission briefing. You can also edit it on the fly if you want to. Yeah, or you can open it in full screen. If I change that here, you will see that you can actually see the whole thing now. Yeah, so that's more sensible because otherwise it was falling off. And you can zoom in to read it properly, and you can share this with the players. So if I just, again, click on here, share, and say allow all players to see this handout, then they can actually always, they have a similar tab at the bottom. They can always go into the handouts. So, one thing I'm trying out is you have to track supply. So in this game, basically there's a shared load of supply that, yeah, the players carry in their own inventory, but you need to keep an eye on the overall level of supply. So I was thinking, okay, well, if I create an NPC that everybody can see and play and see the trackers off, then I've got the supply here. So people can always look at it and say, oh, right, that's the supply we currently have. I also put a second tracker on the side. Is how deep are you delving into the dungeon, if you want to call it that, into the ruins. So not quite sure how well that's going to work because you actually have to play it to be able to adjust anything. But as they go further down, you then say, okay, you're now on 7 levels down, and the supply that cost you to get there was, I don't know, 7. Yeah. So you keep an eye on it, and you can always refer back to it, and you can say, what are we currently doing? Of course, you can use a piece of paper for that, or a spin-down die or something. It's not rocket science. But yeah, playing supply. Not sure how this is going to work, how well this is going to work, but I'm looking forward to trying it out. So I just need to make sure I put the +7 back in. You can also key enter things and get that back to 0. Yeah, so that's the first looks, basically. Oh, yeah, I really should have a motion overlay over this, shouldn't I? This dive. So what shall we go for? So I edit it. You can then say, okay, motion effect. And I haven't loaded them all in. But you can see it's a long list. So if I wanted to have some green lightning, that's a bit scary. You get a preview at the top. A bit scary looking. It's too much, isn't it? Far too much. So remove it. Wet cave, how about that? Cave wet green. It reloads. Yeah, and then you get sort of drips going down. I like that. So, any questions on it? Got a few people watching, which is great. And I don't want to make this video very long, but there's always time for questions. Always is. You've got the search here as well. I was just made a video on a really good search module for Foundry, so check that out. It's about 5 minutes long. It's called Search and Highlight, really good module. Very fresh. Oh yeah, one thing I should actually mention as well. Let me do that in Medical Ward. To keep it spoiler light. Alchemy, you also have this chance of having a tactical overlay, a map. I thought I'd done one. Have I not? Or have I not pulled it back in after editing it? Yeah, here we go. So you can just click on a button and you get an overlay with or without grid. And that's basically easy reference for the players to say, oh yeah, that's where you are. That's the base on Mubara 4. On the 4th moon. You can zoom in and out with a mouse wheel. And if you wanted to, you can have a grid on it. And if you wanted to, you can have a token on it. So if I click on this guy and say token, I get a token and put him in the observatory. There you go. So you can keep rough track of where you are. And that's basically for the delve map. I think that's going to be quite useful. There's a Foundry module for Great Dark on GitHub. Is there now, Lauren? I did not hear that. You know what? It might be just as well I didn't know that, because I must have invested between the two games, yeah, the German game and this one, over 20 hours in setting this up now. Just now you're telling me. Have you got a link for that, Lauren? For the Foundry module on the Great Dark on GitHub? I just wonder who might have hacked that together. I need to check that out now. Oh, you just cost me hours, mate. You really cost me hours. Sending me down the rabbit hole. Thank you very much. No, I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you being here. I haven't seen you for a little while. I can send it to you over Discord. Yeah, thank you. Please do. Please do. I would be keen to try it out. But yeah, so that's the idea here, anyway, of using this. And I'm still pondering how much of it I'm actually going to use. So whether the players are going to be rolling just with normal dice in front of them and with a PDF on the side, or with a print of the now available as printer-friendly pre-gens, or whether I'll direct them towards this. But we'll see. We'll see how it works out. The key is I want to try out the scenario and the rules. This is all technical fiddling that is actually not necessary to play the game, is it? Right. Now I've got the next program I need to go on to Foundry. Anyway, I'll keep it short. As I said, this is not meant to be a huge long video. It just was me showing off really what I've done, and look at all the scenes I've got on here. That gets spoilery now, so better not. Yeah, but if you finish this on the Zen mode, go Zen, then we're all good. There you go. Hope you enjoyed it. If you found it useful, leave me a comment, leave me a like. Always like subscriptions, because for some reason, whenever I put actual plays up, I lose subscribers. Actual plays take a lot of time. Fair enough, take a lot of time to watch. Not everybody's content, I get that. But it can be a little bit disheartening, you invest all that time in it and then you lose subscribers because of it. Take care, everybody. I'll see you soon, and tune in next Saturday, pretty sure. Not this one, but next one. So not tomorrow. For the English stream of The Great Dark. And if you want to see this in action, and maybe you speak German, on, when is it? Tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we are going to play The Great Dark in German. So I'll see you soon. Bye for now.